Welcome to Fantasy or Reality, the GPP. Whatever road you took to get here doesn't matter. What matters is you're here. My hope is that we all can help one another in this journey. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Just checking in with y'all. It's been a little 2-month break here, even though I didn't really intend to take a little 2-month break here. You know, life just gets busy, and I've actually had a podcast I've wanted to record for a little bit now, but I just have not been able to make the time, so I apologize. But I wanted to check in with you, say hello, say thank you to everyone that's been still listening, and today is 5/2/23, so anyone who's listened knows that 5/2/21 is my last day to bet, so today is 2 years for me. So hold on, let me just give myself a little round of applause. Oh, good job. Good job there, Steve. Oh, wonderful. Let me just a little pat on the back there. So it's been 2 years for your boy over here. So I just wanted to do a quick little reflection. I'm not going to do a crazy long podcast, but I wanted to check in with everybody on today on 5/2/23. I'm probably going to record a longer, full-length type podcast on a topic I've been wanting to discuss basically since back in March when I went to the conference. Came up with a good idea. I just haven't made the time to come down here and record. Bad Steve. But so today's 2 years for me. Life is 100% different. So to those of you who are new to recovery or just finding this and, you're in your early days and you're wondering, what the hell, can life actually get better? Can life change? I mean, if you listen to the early days of this podcast, life was difficult. I was still trying to sort things out in my mind and try to sort things out on how I felt and how my relationship with my wife was going to be and how I felt about myself. And life is much different. It's much better. Of course, there are still difficult days. There's always going to be difficult days and difficult times. And I'm not always going to be perfect. I'm not always going to make the right decisions or say the right things or just have a good day. And that's all right. But yeah, life is 1,000 times better. I think back to where I was 2 years ago at this time, and I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I hated who I was. I did not like who I was seeing in the mirror. Sometimes I look back at this picture my wife randomly took of me just a few days before everything came out, and I can just see it's like this 1,000-yard stare where I'm sitting and eating a sandwich and I'm overweight, and you can see the bags under my eyes, and I'm just miserable, just under the weight of all this pressure, of all these lies, and these couple of years of being in the throes of addiction, and I look at myself now, and I'm a completely different person. I feel good about who I am today. I feel good about who I am physically and mentally and emotionally, and I feel good about who I am as a father. I feel good about everything, really. I mean, yeah, there are some, like I said, there's some difficult days, and I still will beat myself up about some of the choices I had made. I was talking to another friend in recovery, Rob, in my meeting last night, and we were talking about looking back and just once you get some distance, you almost look back and you can't even believe that was you that did those things. The version of yourself that you are years into recovery. Sometimes it feels like it was a dream or whatever. I mean, it's crazy looking back sometimes, thinking about some of the stuff you did, but realizing you were in an addiction, you were in a different mind state, and looking back and just thinking life can change. I was in a meeting last night with there was 4 of us, and I'm the one with the shortest amount of time. All these other guys have 5, 10 years in, and it's a great meeting, great discussion. spent the first half of it honestly just laughing and joking about dumb things and stupid things. And that's the kind of stuff you can do once you get some time in. And it feels good today. It feels good to be at 2 years. It's different. This year was obviously different than last year. I had done a lot of work, from day 0 to day 365. I was counting days a lot more. I spent a lot more time going to meetings and really focusing on counting the months and the days. And this year, I integrated everything I kind of learned in that first year, and I continue to learn. It's always a learning process. But this year, I didn't really count the days. I didn't count the months. It almost kind of came up quick on me here. I couldn't believe that the 2 year mark came up so quickly. But I still do my meetings. I still go 2 to 4 times a month, depending on my schedule. I'm actually going in for my first therapy check-in session next Saturday, the first one I've had in about 6 months. Still doing this podcast, not as much as I'd like to, but still doing it. So I stay grounded with my recovery. I don't stop my recovery. I check in with my group members, and the meetings are still important to me. It's still great to connect with guys who have been through what I've been through and have lived what I've lived. And I just want to say life is great today. The life I was chasing in my gambling days, like trying to win this large sum of money and trying to change my life, thinking that money was going to be everything and try to be a better husband and father and create a better life. All those things my wife and I have created together, and gambling is so far from that. Addictive behavior is so far from that. I wanted to create a better, fix the things around the house, create a better living situation, be better off financially. And now my wife and I have done that together. And it's all been through our hard work and saving. And, the fence I was worried about falling down, we're about to replace. We're getting a tree taken down. Kelly is working. I definitely want to get her back on here to talk about how her journey's been going. But yeah, life is so much better today, 2 years in. And, I'm excited to see what the next year is going to bring. I'm going to keep going with the podcast. I'm going to keep going with my meetings. You can look for a podcast I recently just recorded. All Bets Are Off. That should be out in the next few weeks. It's not out yet, but keep an eye out for that. I'll talk about that and post a link when that comes out. But yeah, still working like a maniac at work, still working like a maniac in the gym, still writing my songs, hanging out with the family. My wife and I went and saw Jim Brewer recently at a theater up here. That was so much fun. That dude is so funny. And it was great to have a nice date night with my wife and go out to a nice comedy show. All things I could not enjoy when I was in the throes of this damn gambling addiction. But my friends, it does not always have to be that way. I am proof that life can change. You do not always have to stay stuck in an addiction. As daunting as it may seem and as difficult as it may seem, and it's not easy, but the work is worth it. Putting the time in these meetings and putting the time in therapy sessions and really working and finding out, for me at least, finding out how it happened, why it happened, and putting tools in place to make sure that they do not happen again. I detail a lot of that in previous episodes, and if you're having a difficult time and if you're not sure what to do or the first steps to take, please feel free to reach out to me at fantasyorreality@yahoo.com. I'd be more than happy to share my thoughts and ideas, because it just was so important to me listening to podcasts early on. Also, if you are in search of a meeting and you haven't found a good fit for you, reach out to me also. We have a great group of guys that meet every Monday at 7:30. So if that's something you'd be interested in trying out, please feel free, reach out. We're always happy to have new people come in. But yeah, I just want to do a quick little short thing here. I'm already running up on 10 minutes here. But I just wanted to check in with you all, say thank you for listening. I'm really proud of hitting my 2-year mark here and continuing on into the future. And I appreciate you all being here with me through this journey. I'm going to keep sharing my thoughts, my ideas, even if I'm just talking to myself over here. So one more round of applause for Stevie D over here. I know I sound like a freaking D-bag, but I appreciate it. I'm very happy with where I'm at today. Life is good. Love my life. Love my wife. Love my children. Love my goals in the gym. My beautiful freaking Taylor guitar I'm still playing that my wife got me. It's beautiful. My wonderful friends that I wish I could see more of. Love you guys. Life's good today. So be good to yourselves and each other, and I will talk to you much sooner than 2 months from now. I promise it. Promise you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Here's where to get help. You can call or text 1-800-522-4700. That's the National Council on Problem Gambling. Or you could call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. This is where I found the link to my therapist through my local counselor. And then also, we cannot forget our affected others. My wife goes to Gam-Anon every week, and it's been a huge help to her. So anyone in your life who you feel like needs help or you've affected through your gambling, you can go to gamanon.org, GAM-ANON.org. The number is 718-352-1671.